It starts now. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Monday night. You are in the bike lane. The guy in the fancy blue jersey is me. I'm your host, Tom Ziska. Glad to have you with us. The vacation whiskers are gone because the boss said she did not like the vacation whiskers. And by the boss, I mean the person who signs my checks, um, Mrs. Ziska around the corner. She was willing to accommodate them for a little while. Bike riding's going great. Since I last saw you, I did a little mountain biking, did a little road biking, which was fantastic. So this week, do things just a little bit differently, but we're going to talk about bicycle racing. And if you're just checking into the bike lane and wondering what the heck this is, as always, we are talking about anything pedal powered, two wheels, three wheels, no matter how you get from point A to point B on a pedal powered vehicle. That's what we're going to talk about. This week, we're talking about bicycle racing. And in particular, I want to introduce you to, if you have not had the opportunity, and many of us don't get this opportunity, we want to talk about this guy right here. This is Neilson Powless, races for the EF Education First Easy Post team. And in the, look at my hand right there, in the Tour de France that just completed, he spent about the first half of the tour in the polka dot jerseys. That is the climbing jersey if you're new to bicycle racing. And I got to tell you, for those who watch this race, there's probably not a single person I have ever seen in professional racing enjoy the experience more than Neilson Powless. He just was a joy to watch. He tried everything he could to stay in this jersey and just had a great time, and it was fun to watch, which was fantastic. So it brings us to this. About a week ago, um, about last Monday, I heard a rumor um, uh, that Neilson Powless was going to be in Houston to race the Memorial Park Criterium Series. Again, if you're here and you know what the crit is, the Memorial Park crits, then you know. If you don't know, it's the Wednesday night racing series, which returned this summer for the first time in 4 years after COVID and construction at Memorial Park. So glad to have it. This 9 week series of races ends this coming Wednesday. So last Wednesday, week 8, the rumor was Neilson Powless was going to show up. And did he ever? It was like a rock star stepped into the arena there at Memorial Park, and he could not have been more gracious. People lined up; they wanted selfies, they wanted to say hi, they wanted to shake his hand, they wanted to look at his bicycle. And at some point, because I was doing the announcing last week at Memorial Park, and you kind of read the body language, and it was almost as if he was saying, I really came here to ride my bike, people. I'm going to need to get on my bicycle. And so he clipped in and raced. So this is a snapshot. And I want to give, for these photos coming from Facebook, I want to give special thanks to Fahar Hassan, Gabriel Oderman, and my friend Corbin Allstott, who took all of these pictures. So thanks to them. But this is Neilson Racing, and he quickly found himself in a breakaway, first with 4 riders, and then with three riders, including him, and they broke away from the main pack of riders, and they were gone more than a minute, more than a minute. So anyway, great race. At some point, uh, again, if you were there, you know this. If you were not there, great story. And I'm looking at your comments, Jeffrey and Miguel. Um, no, Jeffrey, you're not invited to make that comment. It wasn't bicycle related. But so at some point, Nielsen stops where the start finish line is, and he says, "I need air in my tires." So he had to stop from his breakaway and let the other 2 guys go down the course. And somebody rushed to get a pump, and they pumped up his tires, and he quickly got back on his bike and it was all business at this point. 45 seconds behind the leaders, still about 20 seconds in front of the rest of the pack, and he chased like a son of a gun. And at one point, he was whittling down the lead that his breakaway guys had, and he caught them, and he passed them, and he won the race. How about that? It was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. So uh, I want to play you a little conversation I had with Neilson at the conclusion of the race. He was gracious since I had the microphone. I could let other people listen in there at the scene, but Mrs. Ziska was kind enough to record this as well. So let's listen to Neilson Powless here at Memorial Park at the Criterium Series last Wednesday night.
I am with Neilson Powless, one of Houston's newest residents. Welcome to Houston.
Thank you very much. Yeah, really happy to be here.
So, you were just telling me you and your wife are expecting a child, and your wife is from here in Houston. So you have what? You put down roots here.
Yeah. We just bought a house in Memorial last week, and this will be my this will be my new out of season residence, I guess. So, yeah.
So this introduction to racing that you gave to all of the serious varsity racers here in Houston is something they can expect to see more of?
I don't know. Maybe. I'll be in and out a little bit, but during the winter time I may not be racing. That's kind of my time to rest. But yeah, I had to come out today at least and just see what the Houston crit scene was like. And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Well, welcome to it. So many of us watched you in the Tour de France. I, at least for my money, don't know if anybody enjoyed being in polka dots more than you. Tell us about that experience.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I mean, I always dreamed of wearing a jersey in the Tour de France. Just, when I was a little kid, waking up in the morning, watching the tour on TV, the polka dot jersey always caught my eye. And yeah, when I took it on stage one, I just, I was really emotional and just felt like I was fulfilling a childhood dream. And I tried to hang on to it as long as I could, just because it was such an incredible experience. And yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I just can't believe how far. Yeah, just looking back on, growing up watching it on TV to wearing it and being in it is just insane.
It seemed like with each progressive stage where you secured it for another day, when you crossed whatever line it was, there was a little bit of mugging for the camera saying, "Oh yeah, I'm still here."
Yeah, definitely. I was really excited and really, pumped up about wearing the jersey, and eventually my team directors came and told me I needed to calm down a little bit because they were worried the other teams were going to get upset that I was milking it so much, but I just couldn't help it. I was so excited.
Fair enough. So obviously parenthood is closest on the horizon for you, but professionally cycling, what's next? Do you have that scoped out just yet?
Yeah, I've got 3 more races this year. One in Maryland. It's in 11 days. And then 2 World Tour races in Canada, in Quebec, and Montreal, and then I'll be done.
I believe that Maryland race also includes Houston cyclist Lawson Craddock, also a friend.
Yeah. Lawson's the one that convinced me to come out and race tonight, so gotta thank him for that. And I'll be racing against him in Maryland, Quebec, and Montreal, and then I'll try to bring him down to Houston this winter.
Excellent. Neilson Powless, thank you for your display here tonight. Thank you for showing us how it's done. Welcome to Houston, and best of luck in parenthood.
Yeah.
Oh, everything's going to change, brother.
Yeah, I'm ready for it, I think.
Neilson Powless, ladies and gentlemen.
Could not have been more gracious, Neilson Powless. And so yeah, he noted that he is now a Houston resident, bought a house in Memorial, and he and his wife are expecting a child any day now. So now, one thing I did want to get to, in addition to that, so great to have a rider of that caliber here. And those of us who race, on an amateur basis, some of us much more amateur than others. You only dream of riding with a pro. There's all kinds of stories of, hey, I saw so and so out on the road, and I tried to hang with them, and you wonder sometimes, does so and so really want you hanging with them or hanging on your wheel? This guy could not have been more gracious, and obviously he was in this race, and this attracted a lot of people who wanted to race with this guy. Among them, let's see if I can find this picture here. This was the major breakaway here. Neilson in first place there. The second rider races for Shama Cycles. Shama Cycles is one of the bike shops here in town. Does some great work, Philip Shama. And this is Chase Collins in that breakaway here. And I caught up with Chase yesterday, as a matter of fact, after he had spent, well, actually, yeah, I guess that was Wednesday. He had spent a weekend riding with Neilson, just you know, with a group of guys. They rode for 120 some miles. Anyway, I wanted to talk to Chase about the experience of racing with a pro. Here's what he had to say.
I've been racing bikes now for, I'd say, 6 to 7 years. I got into it. I worked at a bike shop in college. Buddy worked at the same shop, so it just kind of made sense to work there. And then once you work at a bike shop, there's really no going back. You're going to be in cycling one way or the other. I kind of got more in the competitive side. I made some friends that raced and just kind of got into that. And yeah, over the last 5 or 6 years, especially, I've had a great time racing, training, and yeah, every once in a while you get to duke it out with somebody like Neilson. It's definitely special.
All right, so let's go back to that evening. Everybody knew that Neilson was going to be there, so no big surprise when the pro shows up and he says, "Oh, by the way, I've moved to Houston. This may happen. This may happen more than a one-off." But so that lineup of racers for the P123 race was a little larger than normal because there were a lot of people that wanted to, at least proverbially, not really rub elbows, because that never ends well in a bicycle race. But it quickly separated, and it's you, Neilson, and one other rider, and it's the three of you with a humongous lead. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I knew kind of at the get-go that he would not want to stick around too long. You know, as you kind of alluded to, when you throw elbows and crashes happen, it's never a good time for anybody. So especially in his shoes, he had to kind of mitigate that risk. I know he has some big races coming up here in a couple weeks. So I knew he wasn't going to stick around too long. So yeah, pretty early on in the race, I had him marked. I guess everybody did, but I knew that it would be a pretty vicious attack. And sure enough, about 10 minutes in, he launched with that attack. I was on his wheel at the time, so it was perfect positioning. We broke free. A couple others initially were with us, but yeah, pretty soon it was just three of us for the rest of the race. And I think we were together for 30 minutes, but it seemed like a whole lot longer.
So is there, at least in a breakaway, there's an opportunity for some degree of communication, at the very least, to establish that you're all there to work together. So what, if anything, was communicated as you're going around this 1.2 mile loop there in the picnic?
Yeah, so he obviously, once we had that initial move created, he did the lion's shares of the work for quite a while. He did throw his elbow, so I was kind of like, okay, maybe he does want to sit on and recover a little bit. Maybe he was actually pushing it. You know, I've never ridden with anybody quite that caliber, so I wasn't really sure what his current status was, but he threw his elbow. I took a couple pulls. Alex Weisler was the other guy with us. He was having some bike trouble, so he didn't really contribute to the work, but I would say Neilson probably did 70%, and I did maybe the other 30. But yeah, there was a little bit of conversation there, but yeah, he's definitely doing the lion's shares of the work. Yeah.
So near the end of, I'll call it probably about maybe 75% into the race, he drops off your trio because he needs to inflate his tire, and you and Alex take off. Tell me your thoughts when you lose the pro and he pulls off.
Immediate panic. I panicked because I knew that there was a huge group behind us. You don't really know how far they're behind. No one's really giving you time splits. So in my mind, we just lost our horse. And so I'm panicking. I'm like, okay, sweet. I'm about to roll back to probably 10th or 15th place. You know, it was fun, but it's pretty much over. So at that point, I put my head down and I asked Alex, I was like, man, I need some help. Like, we have to stay away. We've got probably 4 to 5 laps to go. So yeah, it was pretty brutal and a little bit of panic.
Hmm.
But then out of nowhere, Nielsen came back. So I guess
Well,
you could.
yeah. Back where you dropped him off, he pulls up and pretty calmly says, "I need a bike pump. I need some air in the tire." And everybody scampered around and got him inflated. He got back in the saddle and like a bat out of hell, he was gone. And in about 2 laps, he caught you and Alex.
Yes.
He lost 45 seconds to you guys and made that up in 2 laps. And then he didn't it didn't happen in front of us, but he passed you. So at what point did you realize, oh crap, he's back?
Yeah, so looked back because I was obviously monitoring to see if the Peloton was going to catch us,
Hmm.
and I see that pink jersey and pink helmet, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's coming back. And I had been at the front there for a couple minutes, like I said, just kind of running for our lives, trying to hang on. I think we had 3 or 4 laps to go at that point.
Hmm.
So yeah, when Nielsen was getting close, I was like, all right, well, I guess he's going to sit on and maybe get us to the finish line, and at least I know I'm probably not going to get scooped back up into the group. Well,
Hmm.
he sat on for probably 30 seconds and then he was gone. He sat on just to catch his breath for a second, took off. Neither one of us could do anything. So, yeah, at that point, it was a wrap.
How impressive is that to see it happen? I mean,
Extremely impressive. I've seen some pretty impressive things. I've raced with people at the professional level, but he's one of the handful that you can consider the best in the world. And yeah, it's something I've never seen before.
mhm.
I would call it surreal. Is kind of the word that I've taken away from it.
So you have been on or near the podium for the entirety of this crit series this summer in Memorial Park. So as I noted earlier, no slouch yourself.
I
And
appreciate
so
that.
kudos to you. But how validating is it to have this sort of racing experience and to truly hang with someone who makes this their livelihood?
Yeah, no, it's extremely rewarding. It definitely kind of gives you more motivation to keep on going at it. Whenever you have experiences like this, it definitely lights a fire. So just kind of take from it and keep on building. And obviously, that's a level that I won't attain, but it definitely keeps you wanting to go for more.
So I noted that you rode this weekend a small group. I looked at his Strava um, account, and I don't know how much of that you were on there, but uh, his Strava file for yesterday was 126 miles and change. Uh, that's a good long ride.
Yeah, it was pretty hot. So yeah, he joined us. I think there were 10 of us or so. We went out southwest of town.
Mm-hmm.
He was with us pretty much the whole time. He was actually doing intervals during the ride, which was pretty entertaining. But yeah, I think I got in 110, so it was a good day.
He's just he made time for everybody, and you noted as we spoke on the phone, he was just very, very amenable to everything and everybody. Um, it was an agreeable sort of environment. It sounds like.
Yeah, very nice guy, and I think he defines what you would call a professional. Very nice guy.
Excellent, nice addition to the Houston cycling community for whenever he's here, as he starts his young family as well. But meantime, one more racing opportunity for you at the Crits this Wednesday. So you will be there, I presume.
I will. Yes, that is correct.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we encourage anybody who's watching, come see us Wednesday night, the Memorial Park Picnic Loop, and see Chase race. He races on a bicycle. Again I noted, it's a gravel bicycle. It's a little heavier. It's a little more stout than everybody else, but it doesn't hold him back.
It blends the lines. It blends the lines pretty well.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You got the right tires on there.
And there you go, Chase Collins. Thanks to him as well. So that was the experience of the last week. It was very exciting within the Houston bicycle racing community. I wanted to share it with you all, and there you are. So as I noted, one more Wednesday, this coming Wednesday at the Memorial Park Picnic Loop, there is racing, bicycle racing, and Nielsen may show up, he may not. Who knows? He made some noise suggesting he might come back. Depends on whether they're at the hospital giving birth to a child or not. But anyway, we wish them luck with that. I will tell you, I love this race, and I think because I've been watching it the 8 previous weeks. Um, I think I'm going to clip in and race and see how long. I don't think I'm going to last very long. I think the faster younger people will probably pop me off the back, but I can't let the season go without giving it a go. So come on out for that laugh at the very least. My friends, thank you very much for indulging here. And I've got a couple dozen people here watching. I'm very appreciative of every one of you. So if you have an idea for something you think I ought to talk about, if it's pedal powered, I'm in for it. You have all the contact information right there along the bottom. Email, Facebook, Twitter. I guess they call that X now, but it still says Twitter on there. You know what I'm talking about, right? So reach out to me. Let me know what you think of this or anything else bicycle related. I look forward to hearing from you. Michael Henry, I saw your comment that you said hello, so hello to you as well, and everybody else who's here. Until the next time, my friends, stay very safe on the road. Wear your blinky lights on your bicycle. Be seen and be confident when you're out there. When I see you next, I look forward to it. That's the Bike Lane. I'm Tom, and I'm out of here.